Well, welcome to your 4 to 5 on this Friday. I'm Sydney here with Eric, Claire, and Hunter. Good afternoon to all of you and happy Friday.
Yep,
Yes,
happy Friday, finally.
Yeah,
Finally. It is Friday.
And we got some rain as
But
well, too.
possible, right?
Very possible. Looks like we got a trace amount in Greensboro. A little bit of even some sprinkles on the Burlington sky
You
cam.
can actually see it.
Yay! I
I know, I got so excited. I was like,
We
yes.
need it.
I was doing the rain dance a little bit,
Yeah.
but more to come next week. I've got more on that in the
And also
forecast.
today, Piedmont Winterfest, the ice skating rink opens downtown. We're going to talk with Chad and Amanda in just a minute there.
Absolutely, that's right. Well, we are learning new information today. Sad story, a deadly crash in Greensboro. Police say a man and a woman were riding down Wendover Avenue when they hit a deer in the roadway. It happened this morning just before 7. After the collision, officials say they turned around and drove back to where they hit the deer. Police say the woman got out of the car and walked up to the deer in the road when she was hit by a car. The woman was taken to Moses Cone, where she died from her injuries. The driver of the car that hit her stayed on scene and was not injured. Right now, investigators don't believe speed or impairment were factors in the crash.
Less than 48 hours after suspects were announced in a Greensboro murder case, police make an arrest. A 17-year-old is now charged with first-degree murder in the parking lot during a shooting at a deadly high school. Now, no information has been released on the second suspect. That shooting happened after a football game back in September. 2 people were injured in the shooting, including 59-year-old Matthew Grant, who died from his injuries. 2 pedestrians were also treated for minor injuries after being hit by the suspect's car. This is a developing story. We'll let you know when we hear more.
Start to see a couple of pop-up isolated showers this afternoon. For the most part, we are dry, but still a few moving through into Guilford County and also into Alamance County. Temperatures today managed to climb back into the upper 60s, nearing around 70, much like what we saw yesterday. Futurecast heading into tonight, isolated shower or 2 still possible, but coming on the back end of the mountains, going to remain mostly dry across the area into tomorrow morning. We're in the 50s before back in the upper 60s once you get into Saturday with plentiful sunshine. And again, that's all thanks to that cold front sweeping through, also bringing in breezier conditions throughout the day on Saturday. I'm talking gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, despite it being a little bit more sunny thanks to high pressure building into the area. Next 12 hours are going to be falling back down into the 50s. Again, isolated shower chance tomorrow, though. Lots of sunshine. It's going to be a nice day to be out and about, middle and upper 60s by the peak heating time of the day. And for those of you with weekend plans, well, beginning to cool back off heading into your Sunday, mostly sunny conditions. Lots of sunshine for the full weekend ahead. A little bit warmer, though, on Saturday with highs in the middle and upper 60s.
Well, it may not be cold enough for snow, but that does not mean you can't have fun on the ice. The Piedmont Winterfest ice skating rink reopens tonight in downtown Greensboro for yet another holiday season.
That's right. For $10, you can rent some skates and have some fun. There's our Chad Silver and Amanda Ferguson is also out there live from the rink. And Chad, I'm hoping you're keeping your balance out there. I saw a little wobbling.
Well, so it's kind of like, when you got your sea legs after you get off a cruise ship. I got to get acclimated to the ice again. It's my first time back on the ice. Amanda as well, so she's taking some laps while I'm going to do all the talking here. But, I can't even remember I've been doing this for years, and I can't remember the last time that we wore short sleeves or just, light clothing on a day like today. I love it.
Last year I wore a pea coat, but it's kind of nice not freezing.
I know, it's great. And we actually just felt some raindrops a couple of minutes ago. So, of course, while we're out here for Winterfest, it's going to start raining. You might see on the ice here that there are what look to be kind of some wet patches. Apparently they had a little bit of melting, but it's all back and solid now. So we're looking forward to a big night ahead. Piedmont Winterfest, 6 to 8 o'clock. We've got a lot more coming up, so stay with us.
If that doesn't get you excited for the holidays, what about this? Drivers, your commute time might just be quicker just in time for Thanksgiving travel. The 34.5-mile Winston-Salem Northern Beltway is one step closer to completion. You can see the Beltway right here. It begins at US 158 just southwest of Winston-Salem and ends at I-74 southeast of the city. It's this section right here where workers have made progress. They are doing final work to connect I-74 to US 52. Right now, this is what it looks like for drivers. There's no connection from 74 to 52. Take a look at this though. Satellite view from Google Maps. You can see the work crews have been doing to connect these two major roads. This makes it so drivers can avoid the 421-52 interchange in downtown Winston-Salem, which is known for some pretty big delays. NCDOT resident engineer for the Beltway, Thomas Scott, says it'll be done just in time for Thanksgiving holiday traffic.
I think this corridor will be well utilized. It'll, create some safer travel and hopefully some expedited time for some of the people traveling. And, we just asked them, to be safe.
Scott says to be prepared for some detours today and tomorrow leading up to the official opening. They ask you to not head out there until it's fully open, which is likely to be late Saturday. The department asks drivers to use caution when traveling through the new traffic patterns. And no matter where you're planning to travel for the holidays, experts recommend you start preparing now. That means figuring out how you plan to get to your destination and making sure your vehicle is prepared for the trip. The holiday travel forecast this year is a 2.3% increase from last year, according to AAA. They say Wednesday will be the busiest day on the roads, especially from 2 to 6 p.m.
A major milestone for NC by Train. The service says a record number of travelers are using their Carolinian and Piedmont passenger rail lines. In October, NC by Train says the two services garnered the highest ridership ever for 1 month, carrying 65,980 travelers.
You remove that stress from driving, and you're able to read, you're able to work on your laptop, you're able to have conversations with your family. Saw a family that was headed on a trip here today to Greensboro to the museum here with 3 little kids, and one of them was their birthday, and they were excited about being on the train.
On its own, in the third quarter of 2023, NC by Train served over 163 customers, making it the best quarter in its 33-year history.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A Greensboro man accused of indecent liberties with children faces over a dozen new charges. Just this afternoon, we found out police arrested and charged Jeffrey Hill with 20 new counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. GPD hasn't shared the nature of Hill's new charges, but attorneys say they are commonly used when someone is in possession of child pornography. Hill was initially arrested last month on 4 counts of indecent liberties with a minor and 1 count of first-degree sex offense with a child. Investigators believe those crimes happened between 2006 and 2009. Hill is being held in the Guilford County Jail on no bond.
Also new this afternoon, we now know Madison's town manager is off the job. Today, the interim town manager confirmed that Kevin Bond has been terminated, but no reason was given as to why. We reached out to the State Bureau of Investigation to find out if it was connected to their investigation into Madison Police Chief, but they could not share any details. The chief was placed on administrative leave after an internal investigation was announced back in September.
The State Department of Environmental Quality says water is now safe for students and staff at Sumner Elementary. They say no contaminants were found in the water samples and have determined the well water is safe to drink. When we first brought you this story, DEQ told us they found contaminants. It later came back that bad water samples were taken, prompting a retest, which led to the latest update.
All right, in case you missed it, a delightful surprise for a local Triad business. Look at this. Actor and comedian Henry Winkler made a stop in Winston-Salem on Wednesday. The actor, of course known mostly for his role as Fonzie in Happy Days, was here for a book signing at Calvary Moravian Church, but that's not even the best part. Before he spoke at the signing, he ate at Moselle's Fresh Southern Bistro, one of the famous restaurants down that way, and he even stopped in to take some pictures with the staff. After the event, at the event, after his dinner, he even gave the bistro a shout out saying how much he loved the meal. I got a chance to interview him, gosh, it was probably 7, 8 years ago. Nicest guy in the world, no ego at all. In fact, he told me something interesting. He didn't find out he was dyslexic until he was 31.
Whoa.
So when he was a kid and they didn't know what that was, he got pushed around and put in different classes and all this. And he said when he came up with the Fonzie's catchphrase was "a" like that, and he said it was supposed to be something different, but he said I did that because I had trouble reading scripts. And so he kind of made it up himself. It was really
Wow.
a fascinating story.
This has to always be so fun for businesses and owners and workers when they're able to see someone, a celebrity of some sort, to come in and to dine with them as well too. It just has to be a really cool experience for him to take the time to take pictures with them as well. Has to be really nice.
That's my childhood. I loved him.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was kind of thinking too, is, you know, it builds on that business, because now, you know, anybody who follows him follows that business now, and you know, that helps our local businesses. And then to be nice, like, it doesn't hurt to be nice, and he just continues to prove that.
It's nice when someone you look up to is actually nice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always good to hear. All right, we're gonna take a break. We're coming back.
Hey there, it's your friends from the Good Morning Show, Ben, Lauren, and Megan.
Do you have a little one who's turning 2 years old?
We want to celebrate them on TV with Who's Turning 2 Tuesdays. Text birthday to 336-379-5775 to find out how to submit your birthday boy or girl.
And from all of us on the Good Morning Show, happy birthday!
birthday.
Developing now, former First Lady Rosalynn Carter is in hospice care 6 months after being diagnosed with dementia. According to family, the 96-year-old entered hospice care at home with former President Jimmy Carter, who is now 99 years old. The former president has been in hospice since February. The Carter family said through a statement that they are grateful for the outpouring of love and support.
You know, some say it may be the best kept secret when it comes to Triad charities. We're talking about Imprints Cares. They help about, get this, 11,000 Forsyth County kids every year, and they do it with a whole bunch of different programs. Their organization continues to grow. They have something happening here recently, as a matter of fact. So I spoke with Kelsey Camarina about, or to find out what they're all about.
Kelsey, this is really cool. I mean, let's start out with just kind of describing what Imprints Cares is all about for people that don't know.
Well, Imprints Cares, we're an education nonprofit. We've been serving the Forsyth County community for the last 54 years. Our programs take a multi-generational holistic approach that really promote positive parenting, improve social determinants of health, and really just help meet families where they are to try and end that cycle of poverty. We kind of have two sides of the house. We have our Ready for School programs, which serve families from before birth through age 5. And then our expanded learning programs serve students from pre-K to middle school. And so in total last year, we were able to serve over 11,000 students, which is pretty incredible just here in Forsyth County.
So the highlights or the major programs that you guys are doing, tell me about that.
So our main cornerstone program, our Parents as Teachers program, and they serve families from before birth through age 5, and that's an intensive home visiting program. So they connect families to resources, they focus on positive parenting, they do health wellness screenings and that sort of thing, really helping the family set up that student or for their child to be ready for school to enter kindergarten. And then expanded learning has before and after school and summer enrichment camp, and that's where we serve about almost 3,000 students every single day. We're located in 23 different schools in the Forsyth County school systems.
And so I know off camera, you and I were talking about there's a new facility in the works. Tell me what that is.
We were able to purchase a building off of 711 Coliseum Plaza Court, and we are getting ready to renovate this to create our Center for Thriving Families. We have an on-site inclusion program here where we provide before and after school and summer enrichment camp for students with exceptional needs. And so once the upfit of this building is complete, we'll be able to serve up to 100 students here on site. And we're really just revitalizing a piece of the community by creating the education hub and engaging family systems and providing the economic impact into the community. So we're super excited. Actually, you could probably see some pictures of it right behind me.
Kelsey, this all sounds wonderful. I can't believe I didn't know about this, helping 11,000 kids in Forsyth County. Good luck with everything.
Pick.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I haven't fallen yet. Amanda hasn't fallen yet either.
Hey, mic check 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check. We are skating on TV. You're welcome.
Our moves for you back at the station. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We've been practicing. We got 30 seconds, and when we come back, you're going to see us show you the real good tricks,
Yeah,
right?
we got some tricks up our sleeves.
That's right. Piedmont Winterfest starts at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you.
Certainly looks fun out there with temperatures still in the 60s. They're able to actually wear short sleeves, and we even saw a couple of raindrops just in the past couple of hours. Isolated shower or two is possible tonight. Not looking like it's going to be too impressive. More beneficial rain tallies are likely as we see our next system approach late Monday night and into Tuesday. And here it comes in our long range models. We watch this front slowly make its way into the area, bringing in widespread scattered showers. primarily throughout the day on Thursday. So something to look forward to heading into tonight. Again, isolated shower possible back in the lower 50s tomorrow, middle and upper 60s. Once again, lots of sunshine and also breezy conditions with gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. Heading into next week, I know what you're thinking. What does Thanksgiving look like? Well, going to be a little bit cooler behind that front heading into Tuesday and into Wednesday. We're back into the middle 50s, lower 50s for Thursday and Friday, with overnight temperatures slipping into the upper 20s and lower 30s.
Hey, you don't want to miss this. It's High Point's Holiday Parade. It returns this weekend. This year you can expect to see our WFMY News 2 team riding through downtown High Point. The parade, by the way, it is Sunday at 3 p.m. It will begin on Green Drive and travel north on Main Street to Cabane Street. We will be handing out headbands, necklaces, and of course, News 2 stickers. We'll be right back.
Inside natural history museums, popular exhibits often feature mummies and skeletons. Now that is starting to change.
Michael George shows us how cultural institutions are thinking in a new way about how they display ancient human remains.
Mummies, Aztec artifacts made from bones, Mongolian skeletons. For decades, they've illustrated history in America's museums. But now, history is changing. Many top museums are removing displays of human remains. The Smithsonian's Kevin Gover.
The vast majority of these were collected without the consent of the person who now sits in a box or a jar in a museum collection. And that's very troubling.
Native American communities with ancestors on display have asked museums to reconsider their policies. Gretchen Baker from Pittsburgh's Carnegie Museum of Natural History says it's about treating the remains as human beings.
For most visitors, when they start to think about, oh, if the remains of my grandfather were on display, yet he nor none of his descendants had consented to that display, how might that make me feel?
And the change has led to another question. What happens to the tens of thousands of remains being removed? Some museums, including the American Museum of Natural History, are working to return human remains to the rightful owners. The Smithsonian has created a task force to address the 30,000 remains still in its collection. Officials at Philadelphia's Penn Museum say tracking down the rightful owners of remains thousands of years old is a difficult process.
We are listening and paying attention to the wishes of descendant communities. That's the whole core of why we do this.
Museum directors are working to rethink their exhibits without compromising the visitor experience.
Can we still educate people and illustrate history without using human remains?
We still can use recreations, we can use oral histories, we have wonderful objects that tell lots of stories.
Hoping to teach history and right a wrong from history at the same time.
So it's kind of so I've been to this, and I've also, when you go to DC, you can go in those. And sometimes I think for kids, because some of the remains are real, you know what I mean? Like,
even for me, because it spooks me.
It's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
But I mean, they can do it in a different way. But I want to know, he said, if I remember correctly, he said 30,000 more remains of some sort that they've also put in poses and made look like a diorama. They don't know what to do with them. Like, what do you do with that? That's a strange thing.
And like them saying they can't contact family too. I do think it's interesting though that like the oral health can tell you so much about history.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It is. And so, as they kind of look through that too, I thought, that could be interesting.
I think the last museum I went to was the one in Raleigh, the Museum of, I think, Natural Arts and Science, with the big, huge globe out in the front, which is a really cool opportunity to go to. But outside of all of this, I do love museums because I like reading about the history and seeing the different artifacts. I think it's pretty cool. It sharpens your knowledge.
North Carolina History Museum or Historical Museum in Raleigh, that's one you got.
Right, that was the one. It was definitely pretty fun.
All right, we'll
be
take
back.
a break.
Mic check, Jalen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you hear me, Brad? Can you hear me, Brad? I got an interview walking up now. No worries. Yeah, I think we got a stick out there, is that right? Yeah, we got a stick.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check. Piedmont Winterfest, not the News 2 Winterfest, Piedmont Winterfest. Kevin's out here. He's fixing the camera. We're happy that...
Hello, mic check. Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, mic check, mic check.
It's the 4 to 5 dance party. Every time they play this music, we're fools. I'm just going to tell you.
It just gets me going, you guys.
Lauren Coleman, Lauren and I used to do the
here.
same thing. It's a dance party every time we do that.
Welcome
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. It's Friday.
It's Friday, as if you can't tell.
We have a lot to talk about,
Yes,
but
we
first
do.
we're going to start with a little bit of sports. How about
Let's
that?
go.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, the third round of the North Carolina High School football playoffs kicks off tonight across the Piedmont Triad. 8 local teams remain in the race for state championship.
Tonight, our game of the week features Thomasville High School against Eastern Randolph. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey joins us live from Randolph County as the two teams prepare to go to battle. Jalen?
Yeah, each week, more and more teams have been eliminated from the playoffs, but here at Eastern Randolph, that hasn't been a concern as of yet, as this game between Eastern Randolph and Thomasville features 2 Triad teams, and now I'm joined by a senior from the offensive line of the Eastern Randolph Wildcats. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Ladarian Spinks, and I play right tackle for the Eastern Randolph Wildcats.
Yeah, man. So let's just talk about the year a little bit, Ladarian. I know highly successful. You guys have gone on an 11-game win streak. Only loss came against 3A Eastern Alamance. How important was that test early in the season, and just how focused have you guys been throughout the year?
So just in general, we just wanted to see where we was at as a team, see who was going to step up to the plate, and just everything from that. And it just set the tone for us early. We didn't want to be a losing school.
Absolutely, man. And I know the offense has been putting up a lot of numbers, but the defense has really shown all season long. 5 games where you went and shutting out the opponents. Defense only averaging 8.5 points allowed per game. Just how awesome have they been this year?
We've been great on defense also. You know, it's really a big point of emphasis for Coach Cates on our defense, and we just try to keep them to as low as numbers as we possibly can.
And I know as a senior, this could possibly be your last home game, right? Your last game of your high school career. What are you going to do, and what are you guys going to have to do to make sure that doesn't happen?
We're just going to have to step up to the plate. You know, we worked really hard in practice for this game. We don't want to leave it all on the field tonight.
Perfect, man. So there's no other place to be than right here if you're from the Triad, because we got 2 Triad teams. Thomasville making the trip over to Eastern Randolph. Kickoff in round 3 of the 1A state playoffs is at 7 p.m.
All right, Jalen, looking forward to that. Thank you. Are you ready for some ice skating fun? Our very own Chad Silber and Amanda Ferguson, they join us live from the Piedmont Winterfest rink in downtown Greensboro, and it just opened up today. All right, Chad, Amanda, I'm pretty impressed with the skating skills out there, okay?
Did you miss her spin? She just did a spin and it looked really good, and she didn't fall. I haven't fallen today. She hasn't fallen. And look at us wearing light clothing. I'm wearing a t-shirt at Winterfest. That has never happened before. And people are starting to come out too. The official kickoff of Winterfest isn't until 6 o'clock tonight. But the kids, you can't keep them away. They love Winterfest. Amanda, I know you love Winterfest too.
Yeah, and since you keep going backwards, I'm going to try to copy you and go backwards too.
Let's go. So backwards live shot. Oh yeah. So anyway, if you come out between 6 and 8, bring some non-perishable food items, because if you do, you're going to get a gift card for a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. How cool is that? It's $10 a person. $1 of all tickets go to Second Harvest Food Bank. So you're helping a good cause. You're getting free Chick-fil-A. You're hitting the ice for the first time this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's already so much fun.
Yeah, that's right. Back to you.
Certainly a beautiful night to be out and about doing that. Going to be awesome. Back in the 50s for tonight, and even saw some raindrops earlier, leading to this Reedsville rainbow sent in by Katie V. Gorgeous. Not going to be seeing any rainbows at least this weekend, as lots of sunshine is going to dominate the area. We're back in the upper 60s for your Saturday. Main points though into Sunday, cooling off though. We're back in the upper 50s, nearing around 60. Going to wake up Sunday morning, going to be quite chilly, sitting in the middle 30s. But the rain forecast for the next 7 days shows us possibly getting an inch or so heading into next week. 7-day forecast shows these chances rising late on Monday and into the day on Tuesday as low pressure continues to make its way into the area behind that system. Breezy conditions heading into Wednesday and Thanksgiving, featuring much cooler air, especially lower 50s, upper 20s as we head into next Friday.
A candlelight vigil is planned tonight in Greensboro, calling for ceasefire and prayer for the victims in Israel in the war between the country and the Hamas terrorist organization.
The vigil is being organized by the Islamic Center of the Triad. It starts tonight at 6:30 at their headquarters on Francis Daly Court.
The United Nations is warning of the growing possibility of widespread starvation in Gaza because of the lack of fuel, saying it couldn't deliver aid today.
The warning comes as Israel agreed for the first time to allow 2 tankers to enter the territory daily as it continues its ground offensive against Hamas. Willie James Inman has the latest.
Israel's defense system intercepted rockets fired over Tel Aviv Friday night, while its military continued airstrikes, saying it will hit Hamas targets all over the Gaza Strip. This Palestinian woman said she and her family evacuated from Gaza City to the south to avoid the fighting, only to lose her sisters, son, and a daughter in a missile attack. In Gaza City, Israeli troops continue to search Al-Shifa Hospital. They showed CBS News a tunnel they say is proof Hamas used the medical complex as a command center, something Hamas denies. They also displayed weapons they say were found in a vehicle on hospital grounds.
As the humanitarian situation grows more dire in Gaza, Israel announced that it would allow 2 fuel tankers a day into the territory following a special request from U.S. officials.
The fuel will be used to support Gaza's collapsing water and sewage treatment services, as well as Gaza's communication system. In central Israel, funeral services were held for 19-year-old soldier Noah Marciano, whose body was recovered in Gaza this week, along with another hostage, Yehudit Weiss. Family members of the 65-year-old grandmother blamed Israel's prime minister, the United Nations, and the Red Cross for not doing more.
Such tragedies could have been avoided if we only had someone who really cared about all those kidnapped.
They say they stand with the rest of the hostage families, demanding their loved ones be released now.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A report from the House Ethics Committee says there is clear evidence that New York Republican Congressman George Santos, quote, blatantly stole from his campaign and deceived donors. The panel voted to refer the findings to the Justice Department. Santos is still refusing to step down, but now he says he won't run for re-election next year.
A shocking lawsuit filed against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His ex-girlfriend singer Cassie claims she was raped and viciously beaten by the rapper during their 10-year relationship. Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, said in a statement that she is ready to tell her story after years in silence and darkness. Combs' lawyer denied the allegations.
The United Auto Workers have voted to ratify a new 5-year contract with Mack Trucks, bringing a month-long strike to an end. The new deal includes a 36% wage increase. Meanwhile, General Motors may have been the last of the big 3 U.S. automakers to reach an agreement with the UAW on a new contract, but it's the first to get their deal ratified. The vote was closer than expected, with just over 54% of members voting in favor of it.
Well, check this out. Another major sport is coming to Las Vegas. Formula One is getting ready to make their 3rd and final trip to the U.S. for a race in the streets of downtown Las Vegas. Earlier this month, the resort hotel in the area drained its canals for the upcoming Grand Prix. A viewing platform is being built above the canals. F1 now joins the NHL, NFL, WNBA, and MLB as major sports to set up shop in the city. Brian Will shows us how one indoor kart racing track is preparing for a busy weekend.
Oh, it's going to be huge. We have all hands on deck, fully staffed. We expect to see some F1 drivers here over the next few days and the weekend.
Carly Walsh is in charge of this 1/4 mile track with twists and turns that will have you gripping hard onto the steering wheel. It's fun for the whole family, but with some serious safety in mind.
The green flag is going to be the start of your guys' race. Yellow flag is caution. We usually use that when somebody spins out.
Every race is 12 laps.
Give it the gas and give it your all, because the winner is based on the single fastest lap time.
I joined these 9 other racers ready to gear up and burn some rubber.
How does that feel?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Like a glove?
After that, we were off.
Sir, here you go. All right, after you, go ahead.
Yes, these were go-karts, and they can reach speeds of up to 45 miles per hour.
You get a lot of good competitive racing going on out here.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing. After taking a sharp left turn, our GoPro took a tumble and got ran over. Luckily, we were able to retrieve it and continue the race.
It's Rogan.
Pulling into the finish line and joining a list of high-profile names that have visited this track.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kurt Busch, of course, Blake Shelton, George Lucas, so many. I can't even think of all the people that have been in here. Paul Walker.
Cool. It's really
I would
awesome.
love to do that.
And back to the Formula One track, it's nothing to scoff at. It's nearly 4 miles long, made up of 17 turns with an estimated top speeds over 200 miles per hour.
I have so much to say about what's happening with F1. I've been following this on social media, and the first post was that they actually, in Las Vegas, they covered all of the clear, like, walkway bridges with this, protector, so you couldn't see it for free. So they couldn't see the event. So 2 weeks after they put those up, they tore them down. People are tearing them down all over the place. Second, they did that, and 10 minutes after they started the races, cars were getting torn up. There was one where there was a pothole and it wasn't leveled, tore up a car, so they stopped it. So everyone who went was only there for 10 minutes and had to leave.
Oh,
no.
no.
They had to shut down the whole entire
That's
thing.
a disaster.
Yeah, so it's a cool idea, but we need to work
There's
through
still some
of
bumps
those
in the
ideas.
road with that.
Didn't
even start to do that.
That was good.
A pothole doesn't go well at 200 miles per
No.
hour. Yes. All right, so here's some tech news that a lot of cell phone users have been waiting for. A big change coming to iMessages next year. Apple says is planning to bring some features to Android users. The tech giant says it will adopt a new protocol for texting next year that could enable support for encryption, read receipts, and typing indicators. The change is likely in response to pressure campaigns from some competitors and regulators as well. The European Union's Digital Markets Act requires major companies to make their services compatible with other platforms. Apple says despite the change, it is still sticking with the green bubbles for text messages between iPhones and Android, just to keep a little bit of dislike in there.
See,
I know.
that was my one case for this. I was like, does that mean the green bubble's gone? Because maybe that bullying would end. Not that I have it, but
one thing that bothers me sometimes is just when you have a whole text message thread full of, or in a group chat full of iPhone users, and there's one person that has the Android, and so it makes the entire messages green.
They do it on purpose
you do
to
have
aggravate.
An Android, don't
I
you?
do.
I totally forgot about that.
It's
well,
okay.
I heard a comedian one day say, "Don't judge me by the color of my text,"
There
and
you go.
that is true. That is true. No, what I wanted them to do is to make videos compatible between them.
Yeah.
Because when my wife sends me an iPhone video, it looks horrible. I don't even watch it. I have to get her to email it to me.
Yeah, that quality is
Yep.
kind of different, isn't it?
Doesn't transfer very well.
That's right.
We'll take a break. Be right back.
Hey, giving you a mic check. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. I am a sucker for holiday fun food like this. This is a cheese ball appetizer made to look like a turkey with the peppers for his feathers. The cheese, cracker, and fruit plate, right? Doesn't that look festive? They use a pear for the turkey body. And of course, don't forget using candy corns to make some sort of turkey dessert. This one happens to use cupcakes on top of ice cream cones. Things like this always get me to stop in my social media feed and look at how they did it.
The creativity is amazing.
It is
It's pretty
amazing.
awesome.
I was watching somebody make bread, and they like the way they spliced it. It like bloomed when it obviously when you bake it, it bloomed and it like turned into a turkey. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
this is
cool.
crazy.
Into a turkey. How does that even happen?
I know. I was like, what are you making? But it was a turkey after.
Wow.
Bread turkey.
I mean, some creative folks really kick it up a notch and actually make food that looks like the meal itself, even though it's not the actual dish. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. The end result, little pumpkin pie slices, but it's made with a tortilla chip, a little piece of cheese, a pretzel stick, and a dollop of cream cheese, and there, voila, you have a little pumpkin pie slices. Now, if you don't want to be that creative yourself, I have a local option for you. You ready for this? All right, let's show you this.
Tell me more.
Cake and all things yummy in Kernersville has a leftover box. It comes with turkey legs that are really sugar and gingerbread spice cookies. Then you have the veggies. We're talking about like the mashed potatoes, you see that, right? And the peas and the carrots. Those green and orange balls, they're actually chocolate, so everything is yummy, edible.
Yum.
Then the mashed potatoes made up of buttercream icing.
Oh my God.
And the gravy is caramel.
The gravy is caramel. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. So that's really a dessert you're looking at.
It absolutely is. Listen to what they say about it.
We all love leftovers here. I don't know many people who don't. We just thought it would be fun to bring for the kids at Thanksgiving dinner, or just to have, I unfortunately had to eat one, and it was phenomenal.
She unfortunately had to eat one.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right.
Keywords.
Okay, I have the box here so that you can see.
Wow. The mashed potatoes,
It
the
really
pretend
looks
mashed
like it,
potatoes
doesn't
with
it?
the gravy.
Is that a Starburst? What is
No,
that?
the
Or
little
the-
butter.
Yeah, the butter.
The butter is fondant that they made into. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Can you smell the buttercream and the gingerbread? Can you get a whiff of all of that?
I can smell it a little bit.
Yes,
That's pretty impressive.
I
That
think
is
so
really
too.
cool.
Cake and all things yummy. They have these like 5 or 6 that are made up in the store that you can just grab and take with you. But if you wanted like 5 or 6 for like home or whatever, you need to call them ahead of time, right? Because they don't have that many made up. And they're about like $7.99 a piece.
No, that's
Not
not
bad
bad.
at all.
You
I know.
can dip the cookie in the icing in the little mashed
Oh my
potato.
gosh, yeah, and
Oh,
there's
you can
4
dip
of them,
it.
so it's not like this is like a service for one, right? Like
Right.
you can't eat all of this by yourself. Well, I guess
Well,
you could.
you
Wait,
could.
you could.
Challenge me.
Yeah. All right, so this is not the first food dupe that they've created. I want to show you some of their other creations.
I just made recently my husband a Spam cookie cake, and it's a can of Spam that looks like cake, or a Takis bag. I think there's something special about one being able to like create, and it's really fun. We put a lot of effort and love into everything we make.
Some cool consumer headlines that might have you spending money before you go. I'm sorry now. New perfume inspired by a caffeinated beverage. A little something to add to your cup of joe.
Yeah, plus 2 businesses roll out a new campaign ahead of the holidays. So let's check them out. First up, how much do you like espresso martinis? Do you enough to smell like one? To capitalize, Hunter's saying yes. To capitalize on all the buzz around the popular cocktail, Kahlua and Absolute are coming together to collaborate on a perfume. They call it Blend Number 83, and they say it smells like an espresso martini. The limited edition fragrance is available for pre-order now to be shipped in December, but it'll set you back. It's about $105, and no, it's not edible. Up next, another product for coffee lovers. Now, I love this. Coffee Mate and Eggo are collaborating to make the newest addition to your breakfast routine. Yep, you can get your very own Eggo Waffle Coffee Creamer for a limited time only. The new creamer features notes of toasty waffles, rich maple syrup, and warm butter. They come in 32-ounce bottles for just under $5.
Gotta wipe the drool off my lips from that one. All right, finally, we got a double whammy here. McDonald's has a treat for your feet, and 7-Eleven is trying to brighten up your holidays. The fast food joint is teaming up with Crocs for a new line of shoes, socks, and charms. The shoes in the classic McDonald's colors will run you at least about $70. Meanwhile, just in time for the holidays, 7-Eleven has unveiled their holiday collection. You can get the chain's newest festive apparel and accessories on their online merch shop. Whether you need an ugly sweater, picking up a white elephant gift, or enjoying a movie, they have a little bit of everything that you need there. They even have sales for Black Friday.
And speaking of the holidays, this weekend we do have the Burlington Holiday Parade coming up at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Going to be mainly sunny with cooler in the morning. Going to be back in the lower 60s before the afternoon, back in the middle 60s. Now heading into Sunday for the Downtown High Point Festival Parade, we're back in the 60s, a little bit cooler for Sunday. Also going to be a little bit breezy for Saturday. Heading into next week, starting to see beneficial rainfall come back in the forecast at last. Back on Tuesday, but before we start to see breezier conditions behind that front, lower 50s for Turkey Day.
Hey, 10987654 321
Ram sewer. I used to say it like ram sewer. It's very southern.
Hi there, 123 State Police, state.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 3 4 5.
Right? Okay. Hey, the studio is a little humid. Ooh. 1 2 3.
I don't know why they don't want a live mic check from us. Oh, there we are. Hi, mic check 1 2 3 4 5. Check 3 4 5. She's on a different IFB.
Hello, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check.
Hey there, it's time for my 2 cents, and today we're talking holiday traditions. I know everybody has their things they do with their family and friends at home, or maybe the workplace, or both. But today I'm talking about something that is a community, kind of Piedmont holiday tradition that I love. Now there are several I could name. Holiday parades all around all the towns, really. Even when we light the tree in downtown Greensboro, I love all those things. But there's one that was kind of unique several years back that we started, and I'm so glad that it's still going on. Piedmont Winterfest. It is very cool. I mean, take a look. It is probably one of the most family-friendly things that runs through the entire holiday season, with the holiday music being played. I mean, you think about, of course, we don't have the giant Rockefeller Center tree, but that whole idea of the big tree and skating in the holidays and the cold weather and hot chocolate, and there are restaurants within walking distance close by. This is truly a family holiday event that I love, because nothing says the holidays like that. So I took my family multiple years, even back in the very beginning, and if you can't ice skate, it doesn't matter. You hold onto the rail like the rest of us. You put the little walker thing in front of you and you go at it, and it is a ton of fun. My kids look forward to this like nothing else. So put those on your list. Some holiday parade in your community, lighting of the Christmas tree in whatever town you live in, and then come to Piedmont Winterfest. I know we're a media sponsor for that, but that's not why I'm saying this. This is a truly fun event that will kick off Christmas and the holiday season for you. Check it out. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We are on top of breaking news right now on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. New Hampshire police say there are multiple victims after a shooting at a state hospital.
State police say the suspect is dead. This is video of the scene at New Hampshire State Hospital. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties right now, but it's not clear how many people were injured in the shooting or if anyone other